Right guys, we're at the stage with this, nearly said build then, with this preservation of the Barn Find RS500, the part that I think we've all been waiting for, especially me and Steve, where it's finally going to get the paintwork looking brand new again. So I'll hand you over to Adam, who will tell you a little bit about the company and what they're going to do with this car for us.
Hi, I'm Adam, and this is Tim from CMS Porsche and CMS Prestige Detailing. Some of you may know Tim from his own Ford Group Rolling Oval. And so we've come up from the Midlands to obviously detail this car, as Paul said. So we're going to start with a full decontamination wash. Obviously, we've seen the video, it already has been washed once. But our aim is obviously, we're going to need to do an iron and fallout remover, a pre-wash, just get all that stubborn dirt off that might still be staying in the paintwork. The last thing we want to do is get that into the mopping heads or anything like that, because all we're going to do is start scratching it further. So we're going to get it outside, get it washed, and then we're going to do a step-by-step process all the way through to the finished product.
Brilliant. And what we'll do is, as they go through the process with the car at different stages, we'll update you. Adam will tell you what they've got to, what the next stage is, what they're going to do next, so you guys get an understanding of what these guys are going to do for us. So keep watching in.
Hi guys, so as you can see, we've got beautiful British weather helping us as always. However, we are partway through the decontamination wash, and one of the stages we do, we first start on the wheels and inside the arches, which on the time lapse you've probably seen we've done. And then the next stages, before we actually work on the body, is doing an iron and fallout remover around the vehicle. So if Steve wants to come in with the camera a little bit, I've just stopped him at this point, just to show him the purple contaminants which is drawing off the car, so you can see it all along here and the bottom of the quarter. And basically what that is iron fallout deionizing. So a lot of brake dust and stuff like that, and years of contaminants from the road which is eaten into the paintwork. So our aim is to clean all that off the paintwork first before we polish. So I just wanted to show you partway through what was happening. So as Paul was saying, obviously we've masked the car fully up now, as we said we were going to do in the last video. So the aim for this was we just wanted to protect the parts that obviously you can't get anymore. And so obviously that's included the mouldings, which are like hen's teeth to try and find. You obviously got the door rubbers, the window rubbers, and obviously around the boot spoilers as well. The reason we've done that is, as I said, obviously we want to protect some of it, but there's also parts in the car that are designed to be matte black. They're not designed to be polished or shiny. So we want to keep the polisher as far away as possible from those areas. So, as he said, I've just been going around to do a paint depth gauge. And the reason we do that is to try and work out if there's any areas in the car that possibly had paintwork, had repairs, or any areas that we need to check for. So on that last panel where you just saw me checking, I've just got a reading of 132 microns. That's very standard for factory paint. Obviously, all of these cars are a little bit different. A modern car, you'll get the same kind of readings, no matter the car. Both cars will be very similar. An older, more classic car might be a little bit different. So with the next stage, so far Tim has polished a certain part of the car. So we will in a minute zoom in to show you he's done half the bonnet. And we're going to do, in the next section, if you keep watching, we're going to split the bonnet in half again and show you exactly what compounds he used and bringing it up. So if we step over to the bonnet now and we can have a look at a half and half. Obviously, we've still got a final polish to do on it, which would be what we call a yellow top, a yellow we nickname it. So we've still got that to do, and obviously we've still got the grills to do, because as we did discuss with Paul earlier, and typical three-door, it was not possible, we did want to take the grills out, but the screws just would not come undone, which is a common thing on a Sierra Cosworth.
You can see that the difference really well we have a look at the bonnet that we've already polished out of it. You can see on the
so if Steve comes closer with the camera, and you can actually see a half and half of the bonnet. So when we talk about paint depths and using the paint depth gauge, the fact that we're showing pretty original paint means we can't take too much paint off this car. So very recently, we did an old Jaguar E-Type, which had been fully restored down by a paint shop in London. And the paintwork was lovely. However, the final finish just was not up to standard. However, when we did a paint depth gauge, we found there was lots of paint on it, much closer to about 200 to 250 microns all around the car, which meant that we could 1500 sandbag the car with 1500. Then we could do 2000, and then we could 3000 Trizac. And that got pretty much every imperfection you could imagine out of the paintwork, and it looked like it should have. With the fact that this is pretty original paint, we are limited by doing that, and by the fact that the client wants to use this car, and we want it to not look like it's been fully painted.
Right, Adam, I can see you've spent quite a bit of time today polishing this side of the bonnet up compared to this side. Me and Paul was quite happy with that. When we first watched this car, we were like, that looks mint. Look how much better that looks. So go on, you're going to have to tell us how you've done that. Before you do, I'm probably going to point out, there are stone chips in it. There are little imperfections. This isn't a restoration. It's not being painted and it's the final detail. What we're trying to do is make the best of what we can, or make the best of what we have for the customer, so he can go out and drive it and he ain't going to start crying if he gets a little stone chip on the front. So
well, the thing is, when you've got a car that's completely restored, you know that nobody wants to drive it, and this gentleman wants to drive the car. That's his aim. So to get it to this stage, as I said, we've still got one part, well, we've still got the final stage of the 3-stage to do on that bonnet. But so far we've used the 2 compounds here, which is a Kosh Chemie heavy cut, and then the Kosh Chemie fine cut as well, which is the 2nd stage. So the red one's the heavy cut, or the 1st stage, and then obviously you've got the 2nd stage as well.
So where we are, is this finished the 2nd stage?
No, so we've still got one more stage to do out of that, and the reason for that is you might see some slight, what we call holograms in it, where it isn't pure. You can still see little streaks and things like that. So that's what the final stage will do to take that out. So we first tried with this bonnet was we used what's called a rotary polisher, which isn't the conventional choice.
So for people who don't know, that's one that just spins in a complete circle.
Exactly. So there isn't the 100% conventional choice, and the reason for that is it can be dangerous and it's very easy to burn through paintwork because it goes in one rotation rather than an orbital which moves around. It goes in a circle and it can will burn through the paintwork. However, we have found this car has had a little bit of paintwork in its life, and the bonnet's one of the areas that's been painted. Very normal for a car of this age. I would, to be honest, I don't know about you, but I'd be more surprised if it hadn't had it.
Yep.
So because of that, that means when I checked on the paint depth, we did have a lot more paint to play with on the bonnet than we did on the other areas of the car, which means that we were able to cut it back with a rotary first. And then we jumped straight onto the DA, or the orbital, and with a heavy cut on a microfiber pad, and that's how we've got to this stage so far.
We'll let them carry on then, shall we?
Obviously, so the next stage is we're going to split this bonnet in half again, and we're going to show you exactly how we got to that level.
Before we do, we'll just take a minute to appreciate he's spent all day masking this up whilst his pal's been polishing.
I've masked the whole car and he's polished half the bonnet. What shall we say to that?
I'm waiting.
Right guys, day 2. So you was here till 10:30 last night?
Yeah, morning guys. So it was a late night. We started, on the car yesterday, 9 o'clock this morning, finished 10:30. I think by the time we got back to our hotel, it's like 11:45, I think, last night.
Busy day then.
Yeah, so we've, what's that, 20, I can't do maths this morning, 26 hours, was it? Something like that we spent between two of us.
It's a few hours he's had on it.
So we're about 60% through the car at the moment. So far we've done the full cut on this side. So as I said, we've got another 2 stages to do on top of that, but they're a lot quicker because all you're really doing is taking out the marks from the heavy cut and such.
I think at this point now it's difficult to remember just how bad it was.
Yeah, I have to admit, when we walked in this morning, everyone's gone, wow, I can't believe that's the same car it was yesterday.
Yeah, it looks really well. It does look well.
So it's coming along. It's gonna, we're chuffed with how it's coming along so far.
How much more? Well, first of all, what's left to do on the car? How many more stages is there?
So we've got 2 more stages, but as I said, that is purely stage 2 will be basically to take out the heavy marks, and then the final stage, or what some people call stage 1, is just to take out those final what we call holograms and little shadowing and stuff like that you'll see from the other 2 stages.
And then you were saying there's a ceramic coating or something to go on?
Yeah, so the ceramic coating. So obviously we're just discussing when to do that. We are going to run out of time for these 2 days, so we are going to look to get the car ceramic coated and then a full interior valet, which will most likely be in a separate video before the handover date. So it's going to get a proper deep shine to it by the time it's done, and it will makes it easier to maintain for the owner.
And that's what he wants. So
indeed.
When he puts it back in his barn again, it'll look like new in another 20 years' time.
And hopefully the bird marks, the bird rubbish and stuff like that won't stick to it.
Right, we'll let these lads crack on and we'll come back to it soon.
Right, guys, so we've finally come to the end. Well, we say the end.
Yeah, the end.
The end of 2 very, very, very long days for Adam and Tim. They've worked incredibly hard on this car, done a stupid amount of hours in 2 days. Well, I'll briefly explain where Adam is probably best to explain where we've got to and what our next step is with this car.
So I think between us, after my terrible math this morning, I think we've done another 18 hours on the car. So we are now done the 2 stage, and we've got just the final stage left to do, the final polish, which will obviously give it that ultra depth and then to give it the shine.
Exactly. So what the plan is, because obviously we've got to finish this car yet. We've got to MOT it. We've got to do quite a few miles in it on a shakedown, make sure everything's all right. So what we didn't really want to do was undo all the work these guys had done when they finished the job off. So what we've decided to do is we're going to finish the car. We're going to do all the work on it, get it ready, get it finished, and then we're going to drive it down to their premises where they can do the final polish. They're going to
Final ceramic coat.
ceramic coat, that's the word
Yeah.
I couldn't think of. They're going to ceramic coat it. They're going to valet the inside and detail the inside for us so that we then can pick the car up from their premises, which is only half an hour from the NEC. So we're going to collect it from them and take it directly to the NEC so that it's going to be the best it can be. We know we aren't going to get it dusty. We're not going to get it mucky. You know, putting covers on and off, because if you don't do that carefully, you can, you know, undo all their work and put fine scratches in. So I think you'll agree that although these guys...
It's hard to believe it's the same car,
Well,
isn't it?
I mean, that's what I'm going to say. I mean, from mine and Steve's point of view, you look at this car and it's absolutely phenomenal. But Adam and Tim are looking at it and going, well, it's all right. You know, it isn't. To us, the transformation has just been absolutely incredible.
So what we've done is we've left the grills till last. As I said, if you see in the earlier video, obviously we tried to take them out, but there was no chance of that happening. So we've left the grills in the bonnet and also the front grille, so you can see the variation.
I think that actually really shows the difference, doesn't it, really? It's hard to believe that 2 days ago, this whole car looked like that. Absolutely unbelievable. We're absolutely made up with it, Steve, aren't we? Oh, he ain't got a microphone, so he's just giving a thumbs up. So yeah, the car is absolutely unbelievable. As we've always said, there's a few marks in it. There's a lot of defects that they will never, ever get out of this car with the best will in the world. But because it's going to be a user, we believe this car now has gone from a barn find to a car that when we put this on display at the NEC is going to... Exactly. We said that earlier, didn't we? That basically when this car came, that's what it looked like.
When you look at them side by side, it's hard to believe that's gone from that, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. Incredible work. You know, I can't thank you guys enough.
Oh, that's all right. As I said, we've still got a bit more to go yet. There's still a few more defects we want to take out. So
yeah,
it's going to be fantastic when it's done.
We think it looks fantastic now, so God knows what it looked like when it's finished. But again, thanks very much indeed.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
No,
it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. Pleasure.
Enjoy coming up, and we'll see you again in a few weeks.
We will.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining.
your hair as well? Just double check yours.
Both
Is it
of
right?
Are we ready?
Alright, go on then.
Right guys, we're at the final leg of this barn find long project. You'll have seen earlier on in the video that Adam from CMS Porsche and what's the other guy's called?
Yours.
The other guy who came with you?
Tim.
Tim came up and did 2 stages of a 3-stage detail on the RS500 for us. It was decided it was best that we finish the car and then bring the car back to them to do the final stages of the detail. So we've just arrived.
So hi guys, it's nice being back. It's been a couple of weeks. So as you can remember, as Paul said last time or earlier in the video, we put about 40 hours into this car and it was nearly complete, but it wasn't quite there. So now it's back, now it's all done. We can crack on with getting ceramic coated. All the panels re-degreased, re-cleaned, ready for ceramic coating, ready for handover at the end of the month.
Let's get it out.
Cool.
You ready? That's the car out the trailer. Over here. But we haven't actually had a look around it properly, really, since we've finished it. So Paul's been out and stuck an MOT on it. Done probably 15 miles of up and down the road, making sure it keeps all its fluids where it should.
Yeah, everything's alright.
And then I suppose we best have a look. So one of the main things as you walk up that we notice is we put fog light grills back in it. So when this came to us, it still had the fog lights in, which is unusual for one of these. But we've put the fog light grills back in. I think one of them was damaged, was it? One of the fog lights?
The indicator was smashed.
So we've changed that, that's gone back in, and we'll just have a quick look round it. Right, so this is the first chance we've had to really look round it, isn't it? Since
It is, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Or outside anyway, it's not in the workshop, so let's have a quick look and I'll let you tell us what we've done.
Well, obviously you mentioned about the grills, we've got the grills in it. Let's have a look under the bonnet. So obviously all we've done with this is cleaned it. We've obviously changed some Jubilee clips that were rusty, done the fuel rails, the bracket, because they were just so rusty. We needed to blast them and make sure they were in good condition. Painted the odd little bit that desperately needed doing it, but generally...
Painted turbo hanger because you're having sleepless nights over that one.
Yeah, I started to twitch and everything, didn't I?
That rust was affecting your OCD, so that got
it was, yeah. I started sweating during night and everything. So we did that, and like I said, we've just detail cleaned it, and we think, oh, well, we love it, don't we?
Yeah.
Because it's original.
Yeah.
You know, one of the main things with these is you refurbish the rocker cover, and it transforms under the bonnet, doesn't it? Because the rocker cover is the first thing you see. But you just don't come across them like that, not refurbished anymore. So we thought it was a shame to do it, so we've left it. So we're happy with, we're really pleased with Under Bonnet, aren't we? The rest of it, obviously, outside looks amazing, and yet they haven't finished with it yet. So it's going to look spectacular, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. It's all done, isn't it? Starts and runs and drives fine. We've had it up road, as you said. I've done maybe 15, 20 mile in it. Brought it back, put it back on the ramp twice, haven't we? And found, you know, a couple of minor little things. There was a minor fuel leak on the back that we fixed. There was a minor brake pipe leak, wasn't there, that we fixed on testing. But other than that, we're done.
Left for us is really swap wheels over them.
Yeah, wheels, and obviously all the dents have been done. We've had the dent man done that you'll see in the video, so they've been done. And as Steve says, we've got the original wheels to put back on. We really wanted them back on before we brought it to back to these guys, didn't we, to finish the detail? But logistics, one thing and another. We've got the wheels back; they look spectacular. We've got to get the tyres fitted, tyres cleaned, and then when Adam has finished his bit at CMS Porsche, we're then going to pick this car up on the way to the NEC, aren't we? We're going to drive down, collect the car, take it straight from here to the NEC. So it better be perfect, Adam, because we've got no room for correction. Just put him under a bit of pressure there. Eh?
Yeah, and then this will be on show for the 3 days at the NEC.
It will.
Alongside another car that kind of looked like this before we started.
Exactly. So what we're hoping to show you is a before and after, really. So you can, you know, you'll notice the difference better than we think, won't you, with the before and after.
Yeah.
And then we're going to hand it over to the owner at the NEC, aren't we? And the lads from CMS Porsche are coming down. They're going to be with us to see it hand over. That's it, innit? We're done.
Yeah.
We've officially nearly finished.
On time.
Before time. First time ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'd like to thank everybody that's been involved in this project with us. Obviously, the guys at CMS Porsche have been fantastic. They've travelled all the way up to us to do the 2 stages of the detail. They were there for 2 days. They'll try and claim they did hundreds of hours. We think they were hiding and sleeping, but no, seriously, they did a huge amount of hours on this car in 2 days, didn't they? Yeah. You know, leaving at 10, 11 o'clock at night to make sure they got done what they had to get done. As I say, we agreed to bring it back to them for the final stages, which that's where we are today. So we'd like to thank them, the guys who've done the wheels for us. We'll put their details up on screen for you. The suppliers, obviously, Graham Good Racing have supplied us a lot of parts for this. The Rydale Blast and Clean have done all the blasting and the powder coating for us. But again, this information will be put in the video so you can see all the people who've helped us along the way. So there we are. Next bit, you'll see us at the NEC with the car completely finished and handing it over.
Hopefully with a happy customer.
You better be. Thanks very much for watching.